House will please come to order. Those persons not having privilege of the floor will please vacate the chamber. Members and guests in the galleries will please rise as we are led in prayer today by the lady from the 15th District, Delegate Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you could bow your heads with me, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for the abilities and talents that are gathered today in this room. We ask for wisdom to take full advantage of this opportunity we've been given. Please be with all of us as we discuss, debate, brainstorm, and collaborate to make real change in West Virginia while following your will and your guidance. We ask all of this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please remain standing as we are led in the Pledge of Allegiance today by the gentleman from the 99th District, Delegate Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Everybody, please rise and join me in a pledge of allegiance to this great country. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Members and guests may be seated. Reading of the Journal.
Journal of the House of Delegates, January 27th, 2026.
Lady from the 56th, Delegate Young.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that the further reading of the journal be dispensed with and that it be approved as having been read.
The lady from the 56th asks unanimous consent that further reading of the journal be dispensed with and that it be approved as having been read. Are there objections? Are there objections? No objections are heard. Introductions. Introductions. Gentleman from the 32nd, Delegate Holstein.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, I wanted to rise this morning to ask that the chamber give a moment of silence for one of our former colleagues, former Delegate John Overington. Yesterday evening, I got an email from one of our state executive committee members that's really close with Delegate Overington, Gary Dungan, and he said that he had passed away yesterday evening from a heart attack and that his wife had informed him that. John served in this body for 34 years, I believe, and he's also responsible for the single-member districts that we have, roll call votes that keep us all accountable, and you know, John was also a very, very faithful member of the West Virginia Republican Party and served on the state executive committee for decades. So if the House would please observe a moment of silence.
All members and guests in the galleries will please rise as we observe a moment of silence in honor of former Delegate John Overington. Thank you. Members and guests may be seated. Gentleman from the 50th, Delegate Pritt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, everyone. I have 4 pages with us here today from Fayette County, and so on behalf of the Fayette County delegation, I would like to welcome Miss Annalise Chenard, Miss Ainsley Ferris, Miss Jamie Sedlock, and Miss Bailey Skeens. I hope you make them feel welcome today. Also, today is Tourism Day, right? And I know, like I've said in the past, everybody else in the state tries real hard, and I acknowledge that and I see that, all right? But when you Google West Virginia tourism, I want you to tell me what are the first pictures that show up in the Google image bar, right? New River Gorge Bridge, the Babcock Grist Mill, right? We got the historic town of Thurman, state parks galore, world-class whitewater rafting. And so I'd like to welcome all the Fayette County businesses here that represent our tourism industry and also those across the rest of the state that are here working hard every day to bring jobs and money to our communities. Thank you.
The gentleman from the 45th, Delegate Brooks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If I could turn your attention to the South Gallery, I have a gentleman I'd like to introduce to you today. He's a good friend of mine. He oversees a lot of the economic development aspects that takes place in the city of Beckley. He's just a fine gentleman, Mitch Lehman. Would the gallery at the House please make him feel welcome?
Gentleman from the 34th, Delegate Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Here for Tourism Day from Mingo County are several representatives of the CVBs and local businesses. We have Ms. Jennifer Justice, Tig Harless, Ashley Hatfield, Cameron Ellis, and Reed Kinder with his special friend Bucky.
Gentleman from the 6th, Delegate Stevens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you'd turn your attention to the South Gallery with us today, we have the director of Grandview Park in Moundsville, one of the most beautiful parks in West Virginia. Craig White's here with us today. Please make him feel welcome.
Lady from the 19th, Doggett Kraus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a page with me today, the young man here in the red shirt, Reagan Tolley. If Reagan will, thank you. And up in the gallery, I believe the South Gallery, is his mom, Haley Tolley. If the House can make them welcome, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Gentleman from the 64th, Doggett Burkhammer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the West Gallery are my favorite constituents. I'd like us to make welcome my wife, Jamie, and 5 of my 6 kids are up there as well. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Gentleman from the 36th, Doggett Green.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my honor to be able to introduce in the South Gallery our Chief Field Deputy, Dalton Martin, coming from the Sojourn Flag Ceremony today, and already been recognized, but never hurts to give it a second shout out. Jennifer Justice, our Executive Director for McDowell County CVB, and also the President of our Chamber of Commerce. Both of them doing wonderful things in McDowell County. If the body would make them welcome.
Gentleman from the 17th, Doggett Pinson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the North Gallery, we have more friends here from the AARP. First, we have my constituent and the new AARP West Virginia Volunteer President, Roger Calhoun, if he would please stand. Then also, with Roger, we have AARP Volunteer Rich Miller, if Rich would please stand. And then finally, we have Mrs. Jane Marks, former president of the AARP. And Roger and Jane may have switched positions, but the band's still together, and they're working well. If the House would please make them feel welcome.
Gentleman from the 67th, Doggett Coop Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I've got some friends from Randolph County. If you'll please stand when I call your name. There's Ben, he's with the Randolph CVB, and Eleanor, she's with the Beverly Heritage Center. If you guys ever go up to Randolph County, please stop at the Beverly Heritage Center. It's absolutely fascinating. They've got graffiti/art from way back in the Civil War. It's very fascinating. But thank you for coming down. Please make them feel welcome.
Gentleman from the 9th, Doggett Barnhart.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning, everybody. I have a couple introductions today for the 9th District. First of all, paging for us today from Tyler County, we have Isabella Kelly, and she is accompanied today by her mother, Betsy Kelly, and I would ask that the House please stand and make them feel welcome. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to have quite a few of my family members in attendance here today. Joining us in the West Gallery, we have from Pleasants County, Mike and Helen Wells, my aunt and uncle, and then in the North Gallery, we have my mom, my dad, Mark Barnhart, Lori Barnhart, and my wife, Brooke. Pleased to have them today, and House, please make them feel welcome today. Thank you.
Are there further introductions? Are there further introductions? If not, standing committee reports.
Your Committee on the Judiciary has had under consideration House Bill 4036 relating to stricter enforcement for parking in a handicapped designated spot and reports the same back with the recommendation that the bill do pass.
Report to be received.
Your Committee on the Judiciary has had under consideration House Bill 4138 relating to persons convicted of a crime, House Bill 4366 relating to military interpersonal violence, and House Bill 4477 to give the Secretary of State authority to refer allegations of violations of election laws to West Virginia Prosecuting Attorneys Institute, and reports committee substitutes back, therefore, with the recommendation that each do pass.
Report to be received.
Your Committee on Health and Human Resources has had under consideration House Bill 4640 relating to drugs and adding a provision relating to the scheduling of crystalline polymorph psilocybin approved by the Food and Drug Administration, and reports a committee substitute back, therefore, with the recommendation the committee substitute do pass.
Report to be received.
Your Committee on Education has had under consideration House Bill 4656 relating to chronic absenteeism. Reports the same back with the recommendation that the bill do pass, but first be referred to your Committee on the Judiciary.
Report to be received, and the bill will be referred to the Committee on the Judiciary.
Your Committee on Education has had under consideration House Bill 4014, Workforce Readiness and Opportunity Act, and reports committee substitute back, therefore, with the recommendation committee substitute do pass, but first be referred to your Committee on Finance.
Report to be received, and the bill will be referred to the Committee on Finance. We have other standing committee reports. If not, select committee reports, executive messages.
Pursuant to West Virginia Code 3-10-5, I have this day appointed Guy E. Ward, Whitehall, Marion County, West Virginia, as a delegate representing the 74th Delegate District to fill a vacancy created by the resignation of the Honorable Michael DeVault from this day through the remainder of the unexpired term of said office. Sincerely, Patrick Morrisey, Governor.
Message will be received. Other executive messages? If not, Senate messages, resolutions, petitions, bills introduced.
House Bill 4852, relating to regulation of foods.
Gentleman from the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to the further reading of bills introduced be dispensed with, and each bill be considered as having been formally introduced and referred to the appropriate committees as indicated on the chamber automation system.
Gentleman from the first. Ask unanimous consent that the further reading of bills introduced be dispensed with, and that each bill be considered as having been formally introduced and referred to the appropriate committees as indicated on the chamber automation system. Are there objections? No objections are heard. Further reading of bills introduced will be dispensed with. Motions. Unfinished business.
Committee substitute for House Concurrent Resolution 3, House Infrastructure Naming Resolution.
The question before the House is the adoption of committee substitute for House Concurrent Resolution 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the infrastructure naming resolution for calendar year 2026. Is there debate on the resolution? If not, those in favor of adoption of committee substitute for House Concurrent Resolution 3 will please say aye. Those opposed will please say no. The ayes have it. Chair declares the resolution adopted. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. Other unfinished business? If not, bills on third reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4028, relating to sales tax on construction materials.
The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Are there objections to having the bill explained in lieu of having it read? No objections are heard. The gentleman with 70 seconds recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The bill would amend provisions of the West Virginia Code by adding a new article entitled the West Virginia Education Advancement Act. The act would exempt state or municipal sales tax and use tax on the purchase of building materials used in construction, repair, maintenance, or refurbishment of a public school. I urge passage.
Question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Is there debate on the bill? If not, those in, yes, lady from the 56th, Delegate Young is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the Vice Chair yield for just a quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Sorry, I read through this the other day, but just want to make sure I'm clear. This is not for sales tax on all construction. It's just for schools?
This is sales tax on construction for publicly funded schools. So we fund public schools through SBA, goes to the county pays the contractor, they pay sales tax on the material. If it's permanently incorporated into the building, they do not have to pay sales tax on it because essentially we're paying it back to ourselves.
Got it. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. I'm excited to vote for this bill, folks. I wish it went a little further and just got it for all construction materials for building houses and all kinds of other stuff, but I'm excited to support it today. Thanks.
Is there further debate on the bill? Does the gentleman wish to close debate on the bill? If not, those in favor of passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no. The clerk will please prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result. On that question, there were 95 ayes, 0 nays, and 4 members absent. A majority of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the bill passed. The clerk will please report the title.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4028.
Are there title amendments? If not, the title as read by the clerk will be and remain the title of the bill. Gentleman the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to make the bill effective July 1st, 2026.
Question now is the gentleman's motion that committee substitute for House Bill 4028 be effective July 1st, 2026. Those in favor of the gentleman's motion will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result. On the question, there were 95 ayes, 0 nays, and 4 members absent. 2/3 of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the motion adopted. Clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. Next bill on third reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4169, relating to mental health examination requirements.
The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Are there objections to having the bill explained in lieu of having the bill read? No objections are heard. Gentleman from the 55th, Delegate Akers, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 4169, short title relating to mental health examination requirements. This committee substitute amends the list of professionals who may provide a certificate of mental health examination for purposes of an individual's right to regain their right to possess a firearm. This committee substitute makes the listed professionals consistent with those professionals who are authorized by law to examine an individual to determine if they meet the criteria for involuntary hospitalization. It also provides that the listed professionals must have the same qualifications as those enumerated under West Virginia Code Section 27-5-2 as it relates to involuntary hospitalization. That's a brief explanation of the bill, Mr. Speaker. Happy to take any questions, and I urge passage.
Heard the bill explained. The question again is, shall the bill pass? Is there debate on the bill? Gentleman from the 57th, I got Lewis is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the chair rise for a couple questions?
Yes, sir.
I'm just questions about the process. So when your gun rights are taken away, you had the mental health examination. When you're going to try to restore those gun rights,
yes, sir.
Does the judge assign the person who's going to try to restore it, the professional, or would you pick that person?
You have to petition the court, and you have to provide the court with a certificate from a qualified mental health professional.
Okay. So I guess my question is, like, how do you prevent, like, how does this prevent, you know, like doctor shopping, just trying to pick who is going to be able to restore that?
Well, when you look at the list of professionals, when you have the licensed professional counselors, this will be a little bit of a long answer, but I'm going to answer it for you.
No problem.
When you have a list of licensed professional counselors, licensed independent clinical social workers, the advanced nurse practitioners with psychiatric certification, or PAs, they may perform that examination only if they've been previously authorized by court order. When you look at the physicians or psychiatrists, psychologists, then those individuals simply have to, that's the only requirement for them. But I would say that I don't believe a judge would ever accept a certificate from an unlicensed medical care provider, and on top of that, someone would have to be operating within their scope of practice or be subject potentially to medical discipline if they go outside of that.
And I guess that gets to the heart of my question as far as the standard of practice. Now, they all have the same similar standards as far as petitioning that person to restore their gun rights. So they're all working within the same scope as far as, like, these are the elements that need to be met in order for this person to have their gun rights restored. Or because they're slightly different professions, it's different in each profession.
It's not different. The only thing the certificate has to say is that the professional must certify that the individual is competent and not likely to act in such a manner in the future that is dangerous to the public, which is what existing code requires. And also keep in mind that this code provision that we are potentially changing today, if we change it, it will be completely consistent with, it'll be West Virginia Code Section 27-5-2, which that's the involuntary hospitalization standard. So what we're doing is we're just syncing up these two code sections so the same professionals who a court can rely upon to involuntarily hospitalize you, which can result in loss of your firearms.
Yeah, I get that.
Those will be the exact same professionals we'll use on the back end if you choose to petition a court to regain your right to own and possess a firearm.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there further debate on the bill? Does the gentleman from the 55th wish to close debate on the bill? If not, the question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will close the machine and ascertain the result. On that question, there were 95 ayes, 0 nays, and 4 members absent. A majority of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the bill passed. The clerk will please report the title.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4169.
Are there title amendments? If not, the title as read with the clerk will be and remain the title of the bill. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. Next bill on third reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4215, Department of Health Rules Bundle.
The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Are there objections to having the bill explained in lieu of having the bill read? No objections are heard. Gentleman from the 23rd, Douglas Worrell, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 4215 is part of the legislature's routine but important responsibility to review and authorize agency rules. The committee substitute authorizes rules for the Department of Health, the Office of the Inspector General, and the Department of Health facilities that were reviewed and refined through the Legislative Rulemaking Review Committee process. It updates critical public health and safety rules, including water well regulations, emergency medical services, laboratory services, nursing home and assisted living licensure, and protections for patient rights in state mental health facilities. In several instances, the bill makes targeted clarifications to improve consistency, modernize standards, and ensure agencies can enforce rules that protect the public. That's a summary of the bill, Mr. Speaker, and I urge passage.
Question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Is there debate on the bill? Lady from the 56th, Doug Young, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could the gentleman yield for one question?
Yes.
Thank you. Related to the nursing home licensure, a lot of you guys have probably gotten emails about this, about cameras being allowed in nursing homes for folks who want to see their families. That was a rule that was a policy that was changed by the nursing homes over the last year or so. And just want to clarify that this rule does address to allow for some video conferencing for folks who are in nursing homes so they can talk to their family members that are outside of the nursing home.
Yes, it does.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Is there other debate on the bill? If not, the question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage of the bill will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result on that question. There were 88 ayes, 7 nays, and 4 members absent. The majority of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the bill passed. The clerk will please report the title.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4215.
Are there title amendments? If not, the title as read by the clerk will be and remain the title of the bill. Gentleman, the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to make the bill effective for passage.
The question is on the motion that the bill take effect from its passage. Those in favor of the motion will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will please close the machine and ascertain the result. On that question, there were 91 ayes, 4 nays, and 4 members absent. 2/3 of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the bill effective from passage. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. Next bill on third reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4364, relating to concurrent juvenile jurisdiction on military installations.
The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Are there objections to having the bill explained in lieu of having the bill read? No objections are heard. Gentleman from the 55th to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 4364, short title, relating to concurrent juvenile jurisdiction on military installations. This committee substitute expands West Virginia's jurisdiction under Chapter 1, Article 1, Section 4, to explicitly include juveniles on land owned by the United States in West Virginia. This, for example, would be a military installation, military base, or any other federal property subject to federal jurisdiction. Committee substitute authorizes the governor to accept concurrent jurisdiction with the federal government over military installations in the state, subject to a formal request, written acceptance, and filing of the requirements that clearly define the scope and boundaries of the requested concurrent jurisdiction. Committee substitute also amends Chapter 49, Article 4, Section 701 to make bail and counsel permissive when appropriate and establishes concurrent state jurisdiction over juvenile offenses on military installations when federal courts waive exclusive jurisdiction, and the conduct also constitutes a juvenile delinquency or status offense under the law. This is a bill that the Department of Defense has actually requested that we run, Mr. Speaker, so that the state courts can exercise juvenile jurisdiction for services or cases that the federal courts do not normally handle. Brief explanation of the bill, Mr. Speaker. I'm happy to take any questions and urge passage.
Question again is, shall the bill pass? Is there debate on the bill? If not, those in favor of passage of the bill will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will close the machine and ascertain the result on that question. There were 95 ayes, 0 nays, and 4 members absent. The majority of the members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the bill passed. The clerk will please report the title.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4364.
Are there title amendments? If not, the title as read by the clerk will be and remain the title of the bill. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. Next bill on third reading.
House Bill 4422, to permit students in 8th and 9th grade to attend summer school in order to raise their grades and establish academic eligibility to play sports in the fall.
Question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Are there objections to having the bill explained in lieu of having the bill read? No objections are heard. Gentleman from the 77th, Douglas Statler, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The purpose of this bill is to permit students in the 8th and 9th grades to attend summer school in order to raise their grades and establish academic eligibility to participate in extracurricular activities in the fall. That is a summary of the bill, Mr. Speaker, and I urge passage.
The question before the House is, shall the bill pass? Gentleman from the 57th, Douglas Lewis, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the chair rise for a question? Yeah, my only question is, this is permissible, so the county does not have to offer summer school courses, correct?
That is correct. It is permissible.
All right, so if a student would need to raise their grade, the county doesn't offer it, can they go to the next county and take those courses? Or would they have to stay in county?
It doesn't say it has to stay in the county, so wherever they could get the grade raised, it would count, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So in other words, yes, if the other county would allow them to come over, they would be eligible.
Thank you, sir.
Again, the question is, shall the bill pass? Is there a debate on the bill? If not, those in favor of passage of the bill will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk prepare the machine. Has every member voted? If so, the clerk will close the machine and ascertain the result. On that question, there were 95 ayes, 0 nays, and 4 members absent. A majority of members having voted in the affirmative, the chair declares the bill passed. The clerk will please report the title.
House Bill 4422.
Are there title amendments?
Delegate Gearhart moves to amend the title.
The question is on adoption of the title amendment. Those in favor of adoption of the title amendment will please say aye. Those opposed will please say no. The ayes have it. The chair declares the title amendment adopted. The title as amended by the House will be and remain the title of the bill. The clerk will please communicate the action of the House to the Senate. Are there further bills on third reading? If not, bills on second reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4393, requiring the development and implementation of statewide prevention plan.
Are there amendments? If not, the bill will be advanced.
House Bill 4410, relating to special stops required for on-track equipment.
Are there amendments? If not, the bill will be advanced.
House Bill 4437, to allow Gold Star parents to receive 1 free Gold Star vehicle registration for personal use.
Are there amendments? If not, the bill will be advanced.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4610, safeguard the right to try cutting-edge medicine act.
Are there amendments? If not, the bill will be advanced.
House Bill 4626, relating to the establishment of a grant program to fund the United States Food and Drug Administration's drug development trials with Ibogaine.
Are there amendments? If not, the bill will be advanced. Are there further bills on second reading? If not, bills on first reading.
Committee substitute for House Bill 4415, creating crime of attempting to smuggle contraband into federal correctional institutions within the state.
Bill will be advanced. Are there other bills on first reading? If not, leaves of absence. Shown in the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For our colleagues, Delegates Petito, Doug Smith, Vance, and Ward.
Are there objections to leaves of absence being granted? No objections are heard, and those leaves of absence will be granted. Introductions. Introductions. Miscellaneous business. Gentleman from the 9th, Delegate Barnhart.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to address the House.
Are there objections to allow the gentleman from the 9th to address the House? No objections are heard, and the gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Friends, colleagues, I rise today to address this House for one final time as a member of this body. You know, this is the people's house, and that is how it always should be. You see, friends, nobody owns these seats. They belong to the people who sent us here, the people of our districts, and we're here to speak for them. It's an honor and a privilege to sit here and help chart the course for the future of West Virginia and for all Mountaineers. You know, 6.5 years ago, friends, I received the ultimate compliment when I was appointed by Governor Justice to serve at that time the 7th District here in the House of Delegates. And it's an honor that I've never taken for granted, not for a single day, not for a single minute, and not for one single second. I've approached every day as an opportunity to make our state a better place to live, a better place to work, and a better place to raise a family. I'd like to personally thank the people of my district, Pleasants, Ritchie, and Southern Tyler counties, for the opportunity of a lifetime to serve them as a member of your House. And as a delegate, I have always done my best to study the issues, contribute thoughtfully when I could, and always look out for the interests of my constituents. That's why we're all here. You know, I was fortunate enough to be elected to this House 3 times, and I still can't believe that. It's been an honor that I can never repay, not in any way, and I've done my best every day to represent my people and my home with honor, integrity, and humility. And it is with a great sense of pride and with resolve and with a grateful heart that I deliver these remarks, Mr. Speaker, and today it's bittersweet. As I close this chapter in my public service, I look forward to a new one as a member of the West Virginia State Senate. I want to thank Governor Morrisey for the confidence he has placed in me. I want to thank my family for supporting me through all of my endeavors, personally and professionally. I want to thank my constituents for their faith that they've placed in me and allowing me to serve them and to serve their interests here in the House. And above all else, I want to thank God for the opportunity He has placed in my life and all the opportunities He's placed in my life, because I sure wouldn't be here without my Lord and Savior. And so I thank you. God bless you. And please, God bless the state of West Virginia. Thank you for having me.
Further miscellaneous business. Gentleman from the first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move, subject to announcements, the House adjourn until 11 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday, January 29th.
Are there announcements? Gentleman from the 72nd, Doggett Riley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Finance will meet tomorrow, Thursday, January 29th at 9 a.m. for a committee meeting. The agenda will be posted. Following will be a budget hearing for the Department of Health and the Department of Human Services. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman from the 41st, Delegate Maynor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Judiciary will meet on Thursday, January 29th at 9 a.m. in the Judiciary Committee Room. Republicans will also caucus at 8:45 a.m. in the Chairman's office. Your Subcommittee on Courts will meet on Thursday, January 29th at 9:45 a.m. in the Judiciary Committee Room. Subcommittee on Homeland Security will meet on Thursday, January 29th at 10 a.m. in the Judiciary Committee Room. And finally, Subcommittee on Legal Services will meet on Thursday, January 29th at 10:15 a.m. in the Judiciary Committee Room, and all of the agendas will be posted. Thank you.
Gentleman from the 68th, Doggett Phillips.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Standing Committee on Government Organization will meet today at 1 p.m. in the Government Organization Committee Room. The agenda is posted, and Republicans will caucus at 12:45 in the Chair's office. Your Standing Committee on Government Organization will meet tomorrow at 1 p.m. in the Government Organization Committee Room. The agenda will be posted, and Republicans will caucus at 12:45 in the Chair's office. And finally, your Subcommittee on Local Government will meet tomorrow at 2 p.m. in the Government Organization Committee Room. The agenda will be posted.
Gentleman from the 92nd, Doggett Height.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Health and Human Resources will meet today, January 28th at 3:30 p.m. Republican members will caucus at 3. And your Committee on Health and Human Resources will meet tomorrow, January 29th at 3:30 p.m. in the Health and Human Resources Committee Room. Republican members will caucus at 3. The agenda is posted. Thank you.
Gentleman from the 2nd, Doggett Zateslow.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Energy and Public Works will meet Thursday, January 29th at 3 p.m. in the House Judiciary Committee Room. Also, your Subcommittee on Environment, Technology, and Infrastructure will meet tomorrow as well, following the Energy and Public Works Committee meeting in the same room. The agendas will be posted, and as always, bring your laptops. Thank you.
Gentleman from the 43rd, Doggett Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Subcommittee on Educational Choice will meet tomorrow at 1 p.m. in the Education Committee Room. Republican members of the subcommittee will caucus in the Education Chair office at 12:45. Your Higher Education Subcommittee will meet tomorrow at 2 p.m. in the Education Committee Room. Republican members of the subcommittee will caucus in the Education Chair's office at 1:45. Both agendas will be posted.
Gentleman from the 79th, Doggett Hansen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Democrats will caucus immediately after floor session in the minority office.
Are there further announcements? If not, the question is on the motion that the House adjourns at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Those in favor of the motion will please say aye. Those opposed will please say no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The House is adjourned at 11 a.m. tomorrow.